July 3, 2025. The Pacific Northwest awoke to a sky of blue, but beneath the surface the Earth was restless. The USGS issued a red alert, not for one volcano but for 3: Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, and Mount Hood. The trigger? Data from the Advanced Geodetic Imaging Satellite, or AGIS, revealing a direct underground link between these volcanic giants. Phones buzzed, news anchors interrupted broadcasts, and a region held its breath. AGS, designed to detect the slightest ground movement, had mapped a vast connected magma network beneath the Cascades. For decades, each volcano was seen as an individual threat. Now they appeared to be part of a single massive system. Mount St. Helens, the explosive one; Rainier, the sleeping giant; Hood, the silent sentinel, all suddenly intertwined. The implications were staggering. An event at one volcano could now influence the others. The USGS report spoke of anomalous magmatic connectivity and region-wide crustal inflation. Translation: the ground across Washington and Oregon was rising, pushed by a surge of magma. This wasn't just a scientific curiosity, it was a fundamental shift in our understanding of the region's danger. The familiar green landscape now felt alive, unpredictable, and threatening. The red alert was a call to action for millions. Emergency alerts blared, evacuation plans were dusted off. Scientists scrambled to interpret the new data, realizing the old models no longer applied. The mountains, once seen as separate, were now siblings sharing a volatile secret. The Pacific Northwest's quiet beauty had become a warning. The ground was awake and it was restless. For the first time, the threat was not isolated, but regional. The stakes had never been higher. The story of the Cascades had changed overnight. And so had the lives of everyone living in their shadow. A USGS red alert is the highest warning, a signal that eruption is imminent or underway. This time it covered 3 volcanoes at once, an unprecedented move. Emergency plans snapped into action, evacuation routes opened, shelters readied, flights rerouted. For millions, daily life was upended. Schools closed, businesses shuttered, and the mountains became a source of dread. Residents were told, be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Have a go bag, know your route. The familiar peaks now loomed as active threats. Scientists mobilized, deploying more sensors and monitoring every tremor, every breath of volcanic gas. Real-time data became the region's lifeline. The red alert wasn't just a warning, it was a test of preparedness for the entire Pacific Northwest. The landscape's beauty was now matched by its danger. The region's relationship with its mountains had changed forever. The alert forced everyone to confront a new reality. The threat was no longer distant or theoretical, it was here, now, and demanded respect. The scientific community worked around the clock, racing to understand what might come next. Every decision, every evacuation, depended on their findings. The stakes, nothing less than the safety of millions. These 3 volcanoes are icons, each with its own legacy and danger. Mount Rainier, towering over Washington, holds more glacial ice than any other U.S. peak. An eruption could unleash deadly mud flows, threatening communities far downstream. Mount St. Helens, infamous for its 1980 eruption, remains the most active, its crater a laboratory for volcanic study, and a reminder of explosive power. Mount Hood, Oregon's highest peak, is quiet but not extinct. Its proximity to Portland makes it a constant concern. All 3 are part of the Cascade Volcanic Arc, born from the subduction of the Juan de Fuca Plate beneath North America. For years, each was seen as an individual hazard. Now, AGIS data suggests they're connected, sharing magma, sharing risk. The old model of isolated threats is gone. The new reality, a single volatile system beneath the Northwest. The stakes are higher, the risks more complex. The region's future depends on understanding this connection. The ground beneath these peaks is no longer silent. To grasp the danger, picture the Earth's crust as a block of rock, riddled with hidden magma tracks. These tracks, cracks, conduits, and chambers, are the volcano's lifelines, drawing molten rock from deep below. Traditionally, each Cascade volcano was thought to have its own plumbing. An eruption at one wouldn't affect the others, or so we believed. The new discovery upends that. The magma tracks are interconnected like a shared water main. Pressure in one part of the system can ripple through the rest. A surge beneath St. Helens could influence Rainier or Hood. This means the volcanoes can communicate geologically. One eruption could trigger another. The old hazard models are obsolete. The region faces a new, more complex threat. The hidden plumbing of the Cascades is now a source of both fascination and fear. Understanding it is crucial to predicting what comes next. The stakes have never been clearer. The AGIS satellite, using INSAR technology, revealed the truth. Instead of isolated bulges, it detected a single continuous zone of uplift stretching from Rainier to Hood. The ground was rising as one, evidence of a massive interconnected magmatic system. Seismic data confirmed it. Deep earthquakes traced the same path as the uplift. The volcanoes weren't acting alone, they were linked, their fates intertwined. This forced a total rethinking of volcanic hazards in the northwest. An eruption at one could set off a chain reaction, like dominoes falling. Emergency planners now had to consider scenarios never imagined before. The risk was no longer local, it was regional. The scale of potential disaster had grown exponentially. Scientists raced to model the new system, searching for weak points and warning signs. The AGIS data was a wake-up call. The Cascades were more dangerous and more connected than anyone realized. The region's safety depended on understanding this new reality. The stakes, the lives and livelihoods of millions. The clock was ticking. INSAR, interferometric synthetic aperture radar, changed everything. AGIS sent radar pulses to Earth, measuring ground movement down to millimeters. By comparing images over time, it created color-coded maps, interferograms, showing exactly where the land was rising. Instead of isolated hotspots, the Cascades showed a broad, connected uplift. This was the first direct evidence of a shared magma system. Before INSAR, scientists relied on scattered ground sensors. Now they could see the whole picture. The technology revolutionized volcanology, connecting the dots between isolated data points. AGIS's view from space revealed what ground instruments never could, the true scale of the threat. The satellite's data forced scientists to rewrite the region's hazard maps overnight. The discovery was as alarming as it was groundbreaking. The Pacific Northwest's volcanic story had a new, high-tech chapter. And the world was watching. With a connected magma system, the future is uncertain, and the risks are real. Best case, the magma stalls, cools, and the crisis fades. The region breathes a sigh of relief, but the ongoing uplift suggests pressure is still building. A weak spot could trigger an eruption at any of the three volcanoes, St. Helens, Rainier, or Hood. The most alarming scenario, a chain reaction where one eruption destabilizes the entire system. Like uncorking a bottle, a major blast could set off others, leading to a regional catastrophe. Even without eruptions, the shifting magma can cause damaging earthquakes and landslides. The ground's slow rise threatens infrastructure and communities. The region is now in a state of heightened geological activity. Scientists are racing to predict what comes next, but the system's complexity makes it a challenge. Every day without eruption is a day to prepare. The stakes, the safety of millions. The clock is ticking. In a red alert, preparation is survival. Stay informed. Follow official sources like the USGS and local emergency agencies. Sign up for alerts, ignore rumors, and trust only verified updates. Make a family plan, know evacuation routes, choose a meeting place, and pick an out-of-state contact. Prepare a go bag with essentials: food, water, masks, goggles, medications, and documents. N95 masks and goggles are vital for ash protection. Check on neighbors, especially those needing extra help. Share accurate information to combat panic and misinformation. If told to evacuate, do so immediately. Don't wait. Your safety comes first. Property can be replaced. The threat is real, but preparation saves lives. Communities that plan and help each other are the most resilient. In the shadow of the Cascades, readiness is everything. The July 2025 Red Alert marks a turning point for the Pacific Northwest. The discovery of interconnected magma tracts has rewritten the region's volcanic story. The mountains are no longer isolated, they're a single, dynamic system. This new reality is both daunting and scientifically thrilling. AGIS and INSAR proved the value of advanced monitoring, eyes in the sky that gave crucial warning. The future demands more investment in science, better emergency plans, and a culture of preparedness. For millions, the mountains are no longer just scenery, they're a living, unpredictable force. The region must adapt, revise plans, educate the public, and respect the power beneath their feet. Scientists, emergency managers, and residents must work together. The story of the Cascades is still being written deep underground. The ground is awake, and the challenge is to listen and prepare. The next chapter depends on what we do now. The Pacific Northwest faces a new era. one of vigilance, science, and resilience. The mountains are speaking. It's time to pay attention.